Hi everyone, I'm Demetra Alexandru and you have just tuned into a UNSW student tutorial. This is for people who are having trouble installing the FGPS, which is the Flowgraph Plugin System for Crysis Wars Sandbox 2. This tutorial also covers basic user commands and how to create a flow graph with an example of an AI movement path. Make sure you have downloaded the newest version of FGPS. I've provided the links below for your information. Once you have downloaded the file, double-click the exe file to begin the installation. Take your time, read everything on the screen, making sure that it makes sense to you. Firstly, tell the installer where your mods folder is located. The installer will then ask you in what subfolder it should install. Name it something useful that makes sense to you. I have chosen Flowgraph Plugin Test for this example. It will then ask you if you should create a folder with the name you have chosen. Click Yes. If you are happy with everything, click Install. The next step is to navigate to where you have installed the FGPS. For me, this is in the C drive. At this point, I recommend you have read the accompanying help file, which is called help.html. It will help you understand more about FGPS. Once you have had a flick through the help files, you can set up the Flowgraph plugins. Flowgraph plugins are kept as DLL files. Flowgraph plugins that come with the FGPS are held in the FG plugins folder. This is merely a storage location and does not mean they are installed. So as you can see, I am locating my Flowgraph plugin folder. And here you will find the help file and many other folders. Also note that in the Flowgraph plugin folder, each plugin has its own README file, which is also recommended that you read. Gives you an insight into the different nodes, their uses and what they do. In the FG plugins folder, you will find the plugins which come with the FGPS. There are two versions of each. One is bin 32 and the other is bin 64. I'm going to copy both from the FG plugins folder into the corresponding bin folders in the root of the FGPS installation. Make sure you do this for both folders. Copy all the plugins from the FG plugin bin 64 folder and the accompanying bin 32 folder and paste them in. You have now installed the bin 64 and bin 32 plugins. You now need to make the mod launch when you start the Sandbox Editor. To do this, you need to create a shortcut to the Sandbox Editor on your desktop. You can make one by clicking Start, search for Sandbox, right-clicking to bring up the menu, selecting Send to Desktop. This will create your shortcut. Now right-click the shortcut on your desktop and select Properties. You now need to add a condition that launches the mod when you click the shortcut. This is done by typing -mod space and the name you have given your mod. Make sure you leave one spacebar before -mod. So as an example, my target is -mod space Flowgraph plugin test. You have now finalized the installation for FGPS. You can now launch Sandbox using the shortcut you just created. To open the Flowgraph window, select View, Open View pane, and then Flowgraph. To create a new Flowgraph, select File and then New. To view all of the nodes that you have just installed, right-click, All Nodes, and here you have it, all the nodes that you installed. So now let's create a flow graph for an AI movement path. Firstly, let's clean up our interface with these basic yet effective user commands. To remove the info display on the top right corner, click Tools, User Commands, and then Display Info. Now let's jump in game mode, which is Ctrl-G, to remove the HUD elements. Hit the tilde button, which is on the upper left corner of your keyboard, just under Escape. This will open up the console. Type in con_restricted. Make sure that you type all user commands in capital letters. If you've typed this in now, you won't have to do this again. Then type CL_HUD space 0. This will remove the HUD elements, so you'll get a clean video capture. Now let's create an AI movement path. On the toolbar to your right, you will see Entity, AI, and an avatar, which is a grunt that I am using for this exercise. Click on him and bring him into the world. Now we need to create an AI path for him to follow. Click on AI path, and click on the ground to create a path for him to follow. Double-click once you have finished your path. Now select your avatar, scroll down, and find Create under Flow Graph. This is to create the flow graph for your AI movement path. Now in this window, basically just name a group for your flow graph. Now right-click in the window, Add Node, Miscellaneous, and Start. It is essential for a flow graph to begin with Start. Add Node again, Logic, Any. Any logic will do. Right-click again, Add Node, AI Follow Path Speed Stance. This will determine your AI movement. Now connect input into in1 and out into sync. Select your avatar. Right-click on Choose Entity and assign selected entity. Click on the AI path to view the toolbar on the side. Here we have to type in the path name, which you can see once you hover over the path in the world. Type exactly the same name, in this case AI Path 1. To change the speed of your avatar, which is between 1 and 3, click on below. To change his mood, you can do the following. I'm fine with that one for now. And there you have it, your AI movement path flow graph. Now close the window and step into your world. Remember, Ctrl-G for a shortcut. Now at this point, our avatar is not moving. Make sure that your AI path is selected as false. Also, click on AI, Generate AI Navigation. Step into your world again, Ctrl-G, and there you have it, your AI moving. Thank you for viewing this tutorial. You're welcome back anytime. This is Dimitri Alexandru signing off.